Relish Arud was just 8 years old when
get your snacks, bruh. Get your snacks. Are you sure this is a video you want to watch for this? Are you completely sure, bruh? My closet light been on this whole time? Y'all letting me run my energy bill up? This whole time y'all let a nigga run his energy bill up? This whole time? Y'all just piss me off, bro. You mean to see, this is what I mean by my niggas don't fuck with me from like some more. This is what I mean. My niggas don't like, you mean to tell me my closet has been, you tell me it's been 2 hours and niggas is not gonna tell me that my closet light is on. And no motherfucking that does not equal more strange what you saying, nigga. This right here don't go towards bills. This right here go towards fucking, nigga, this don't go towards nothing because this don't get nothing.
Toxic says, why your ass jiggle so much?
Toxic, what you saying, bro? Nigga said, why your ass jiggle so much?
5 mysterious unsolved cases.
BX_ says, rise and shine nigga, eggs and bakey warm hello for a streamer that's tall and lanky / hello my wonderful friends, how are you all doing today?
What's up, Beers? Do we have time to repick the vid? You have 2 minutes to repick the vid. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Ooh, oh, this could be a 10-minute video. Let's go. Come on, chat. This right here. Come on, bro. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, bro. Which one? This one?
A little girl named Taylor, 7 years old, runs up to the doorbell cam after school.
I didn't know it's a nigga who talk like this, bro. Oh, little Taylor who ran up to the doorbell after school. Look what happens after he gets to school. This is crazy.
7 years old, runs up to the doorbell cam after school, not out of excitement, but rather sheer fear.
No, oh my God, Quez.
Please come open the door. There's a bobcat. I want to come in.
Oh my God.
I want my mommy.
You can tell by the fear in her voice and the crease in her brow that Taylor is not making this up. Unfortunately, the neighbor is not home yet, and Taylor has to wait a stressful minute until the car pulls up, worried she's going to encounter this wild cat the whole time. The car pulls up just before she really starts to cry. I'm really glad she's alright.
Where's the bobcat?
I worry the bobcat will return one day. If it's still lurking in the area,
bro, I'm not gonna lie, the bobcat
Tim leaves the house with his kids to grab some lunch when he gets an alert concerning some really scary things caught on one of his Ring security cameras. 2 large men approach.
Okay, bro. I just can't. I can't. Like, you know, this is not. Yeah, it's just. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like it's this. The video is more like when you have a scary video, or supposed to be. I'm not saying his voice is bad, because no one's voice is bad. Every human is born the way they are for a reason. But you know, it just changes the vibe of a video, you know, when the voice is different. Like some of y'all are laughing, you know. it's supposed to be scary, you know? Yeah, like, I mean, maybe it was destiny to go to this video. Whichever one Malik sent me. Oh, mysterious cases. Yes, sir. Rihanna with the 13 months. W moderator.
Five mysterious unsolved cases, number 8.
The vanishing of Relisha Rudd.
Relisha Rudd was just 8 years old when she was last seen in March 2014. For more than a year before her disappearance, Relisha, her mother, and her 3 younger brothers had been living in a homeless shelter in Washington, D.C., alongside hundreds of other families. 51-year-old Khalil Tatum worked at the shelter as a janitor. He had former felony convictions for breaking and entering, burglary, and larceny. Tatum had grown close to Relisha and her family over the course of their stay. Despite a policy that prohibited fraternization between the shelter staff and its residents, Relisha and Tatum spent time alone together, and Tatum gave her gifts, including a tablet. Relisha even referred to him as her goddaddy. Tatum spent time with other young girls staying at the shelter as well, but was never disciplined for this behavior. Toward the end of February 2014, Relisha's mother, Shamika Young, placed her into Tatum's care, allowing her daughter to leave the shelter and stay with him. Young was reportedly unhappy with the conditions at the shelter and may have been trying to give Relisha a better life. But once Tatum took over
that actually hurt
for the
for real, bro.
she began to miss.
Actually hurt for real because the mom just wanted a better life for her daughter. Like, they was in a homeless shelter. Like, it sounds crazy, but she really just wanted better for her daughter.
Her life. But once Tatum took over caring for the 8-year-old, she began to miss school at an alarming rate. When school officials spoke to Young about the absences, she told them Relisha was being cared for by the man she called Dr. Tatum. When they called Tatum, he said he was treating Relisha for neurological issues.
What?
By March 19th, Relisha had been absent from school over 30 times. When Child Services arranged to meet with Tatum, he never showed. It was at this time social workers learned that Tatum wasn't a doctor at all and contacted the police.
Bro,
Young told investigators that Tatum and her daughter were attending a medical conference in Atlanta and that she'd spoken to Relisha on the phone on March 17th. Young was convinced her daughter was safe and declined to file a police report, even though Tatum could not be reached on his cell phone and the D.C. apartment he had shared with his wife was empty.
How did she have so much trust in him?
A missing persons investigation was launched. Security footage of Tatum and Relisha was discovered at the Holiday Inn Express in Northeast D.C. The two could be seen walking down a hallway at the hotel on February 26th. Both Tatum and Relisha look at ease in this footage. They're each carrying a shopping bag and walking at a leisurely pace, and nothing seems out of the ordinary. A passerby would likely assume they were father and daughter. Footage from March 1st showed the pair in a similar situation, walking to a hotel room at the Days Inn. This video is the last confirmed sighting of Relisha. When Tatum's wife, Andrea, was found shot to death in a Maryland hotel room, investigators ramped up their search for both he and Relisha. They learned that at the beginning of March, he had purchased large trash bags, a shovel, and quicklime. On March 31st, Tatum's body was discovered at Kenilworth Park and Aquatic Gardens. He had shot himself with the same gun that killed Andrea. There was no trace of Relisha. Child Services was criticized for waiting so long to take action regarding Relisha's absences from school. The agency had been involved with her family before, finding that the home environment Young created was unsafe and that she had medically neglected at least one of her children. But it wasn't until Relisha vanished that Young lost custody of her kids. She was also
investigated. How did the child miss 30? Bro. How does a child miss 30 days? Why did it take her missing 30 plus days to, and that didn't even start investigating? Like, even as a mom, 30 days of school, like, where does this dude have your kid at? 30 days.
Investigated for obstruction of justice due to the statements she had made about where Relisha was, but was never charged.
Like, a kid doesn't just go
She rarely speaks
missing
to the
for a
media about
month.
Relisha's disappearance. In a statement to the Washington Post in 2014, Young said, "It's not my fault. I'm tired of laying my head down to get some rest, and I can't even reach out and grab my daughter." Relisha has never been seen or heard from again. Authorities believe she was likely killed by Tatum. His purchases in early March indicate he may have planned to get rid of human remains. In 2020, police searched a series of tunnels underneath the shelter, which Tatum would have had knowledge of as the janitor there. Nothing was found, and the young girl's fate is still unknown. Relisha Rudd would now be 15 years old.
What? Is this a drawn
Old.
picture? That's an old picture. So she...
Belgian backpacker Theo Ayez began his solo travels in Australia in late 2018. Nearly a year later, he disappeared a week before his flight back to Belgium. 18-year-old Theo arrived in Byron Bay, a popular tourist destination, on May 29, 2019.
Not hiking, bro.
He checked into a single room at the Wake Up Hostel in Belangil. It was the final leg of his trip. He planned to spend a few days in Byron Bay before taking a bus to Sydney and flying home. On the evening of May 31, 2019, CCTV captured Theo and a new friend he'd met at the hostel buying some alcohol at a local liquor store. The footage indicates nothing out of the ordinary in Theo's behavior. The pair went back to the hostel, and later in the evening, Theo visited a bar called Cheeky Monkeys, located about a 20-minute walk from the hostel. Around 11 p.m., he left. It's unclear whether he was overly intoxicated, but witnesses have stated he was not drunk that night. CCTV footage of Theo leaving the bar provides the last known images of him before his disappearance.
Niggas could just...
As he walked away from the bar, Theo used his phone to send several messages to friends, watch a YouTube video, and use Google Maps, presumably to navigate his way back to the hostel, but he never made it there. Cell phone records indicate...
Bro, that's the one thing about other countries, bro. I heard in other countries, like especially when you don't really know much of, like if they know that you were like a tourist, they really will rob your ass. Like you, if you don't know where you at, like you don't really know, you never really know yet if you're in a foreign country.
That Theo actually walked in the opposite direction.
I heard about them niggas who be getting veneers and who be going to like the Dominican Republic to get veneers. They be like, some of them be getting killed, some of them be getting robbed. As soon as they be waiting outside the doctor's office and be following them niggas and be violating them, bro.
Direction. He kept up a quick pace, following an unusual route down dark streets and through bushland to Tallow Beach. Throughout the journey, Theo was sending and receiving messages. After sending a WhatsApp message to his stepsister shortly before 1 a.m., his phone stopped emitting a signal. Theo's family called New South Wales police, reporting they hadn't heard from him. The same day, the hostel where Theo was staying contacted the police as well.
Bro,
His checkout date had been 3 days earlier, but he was nowhere to be found, and his belongings were still in his room. Theo's parents, Laurent Hayes and Vinciane Delforge, flew to Australia to search for their missing son. Helicopters, divers, rock climbers, dogs, and drones were all used in the extensive
these are
hunt for Theo,
unsolved.
but to no avail.
This Just make the shit worse. These are unsolved.
A month later, a baseball cap was found by searchers at Tallow Beach. It resembled the one Theo was wearing when he was last seen, and his family believe it's his. The official search was called off shortly after this discovery. The final signal that could be traced from his cell phone placed Theo in the area of Cape Byron on June 1st. Authorities theorize that he may have fallen from the cliffs near the lighthouse on Byron Bay, but there's no explanation as to why he traveled away from his hostel to this remote area in the middle of the night. In 2019, the backpacker Theo was seen buying alcohol with, Antoine Von Letem, told the Daily Telegraph about the night Theo disappeared. He described their trip to the bar. We went out together after leaving the hostel, and we arrived with some other people from the hostel, and then everyone talked with other people. An hour later, he was kicked out of Cheeky Monkeys. It's not clear why Theo was asked to leave the bar. Some theories suggest he was overly intoxicated, perhaps as the result of a spiked drink, and simply got lost that night. Others wonder if he had an altercation of some kind inside Cheeky Monkeys, which did have a bit of a rough reputation. Theo's whereabouts remain completely unknown, but his family maintains hope that he is alive. They even wonder if he could be being held against his will. His father, Laurent, told media outlets, "As long as we have not found his body, we keep hope."
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes unless they in jail, she whoa. I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes unless they in jail, she whoa.
DEO. I don't know what I would do as a parent. I don't know what type of pain this is.
Outlets. As long as we have not found his body, we keep hope. On the evening of November 3rd, 2018, 40-year-old mother of 5 Tamla Horsford attended an adult slumber party with other local mothers in Cumming, Georgia. By the following morning, Tamla would be dead, and nobody would be able to explain why. On the morning of November 4th, Tamla's body was discovered in the backyard of Jeannie Myers' home. Myers had invited a group of mothers who met through the Youth Football League over to celebrate her birthday, offering to let them spend the night to avoid drinking and driving.
Yo. I'm sensing something.
Though the party was planned for a group of 9 women, 2 men also stayed at the house that night. Myers' boyfriend, Jose Barrera, and Tom Smith, the husband of another attendee. Barrera and Smith hung out in the finished basement, while the women socialized upstairs. Tamla drank tequila and went out to the back porch balcony to smoke throughout the night, mostly cigarettes, but also marijuana until Myers asked her to stop. At some point, the men came back upstairs and the group played Cards Against Humanity. Around 11:30 p.m., some guests began to head home, while those who planned to stay the night got ready for bed. The last person to see Tamla alive was Bridget Fuller, who left the house at 1:47 a.m. when her husband picked her up.
So what about the people in the house?
She told police that she and Tamla were the only 2 people left downstairs, and that Tamla was eating gumbo soup and planned to smoke another cigarette before going to bed. The home's security system registered the back door opening, closing, and opening for a final time at 1:57 a.m. At 8:45 a.m., Tamla was seen on the lawn 14 feet below the porch, face down and unresponsive by Myers' aunt, who lived at the house. Jeannie Myers and Jose Barrera called 911 at 8:59 a.m. The homeowner, Myers, could be heard guessing that Tamla fell off the balcony, which had a nearly 4-foot-tall railing. Barrera told the 911 operator that Tamla wasn't breathing and described a small cut on her wrist, suggesting she may have tried to hurt herself.
Okay, what's going on?
Nah, bro. What does the autopsy say? Why have we not heard anything from the autopsy? Because if it was just something that simple, how is this unsolved?
We were over last night when we were drinking. Most of us went to bed. One of them stayed on the balcony.
One of them.
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes unless they in jail.
One of them stayed on the balcony.
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes.
Mama, appreciate the 11 months. What do you mean one of them stayed on the balcony? This is your friend that just died. What do you mean one of them stayed on the balcony?
Went to bed. One of them stayed on the balcony. She was drinking, and we just went outside, and she's laying face down in the backyard. It looks like I'm guessing maybe she fell off the balcony, but she's stiff.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't know if she's face down.
Okay. How old is she?
41. Here, hold on.
Where's the autopsy, bro?
Hey, this is Jose Barrera.
Hey, have y'all checked to see if she's breathing?
She's not moving one bit. She's not breathing.
Okay.
I just tried to assess her, touch her. She's completely face down in the yard. She is stiff.
Okay. Do you see any blood or anything to where, from where she fell?
I don't know if I should move her over. I mean, she is completely face down.
No,
okay. I mean,
no,
can you
nothing,
just check
bro.
to see if she's breathing?
Where's the autopsy?
If she's not breathing and you know she's gone, then just leave her where she's at. If she, okay.
1 minute. You know, like my girlfriend said, people were over last night. It was her birthday party. We're not the woman that we believe to be deceased, but it's my girlfriend's birthday party. Instead of having everybody go out, she had everyone stay in. And she was the last one I saw before everybody was.
This story is so all over the place. What? How? So this is your house. How do you not know what's going on?
You know, like my girlfriend said, people were over last night. It was her birthday party. We're not the woman that we believe to be deceased, but it's my girlfriend's birthday party. Instead of having everybody go out, she had everyone stay in. And she was the last one I saw before everybody.
Alligator with the 5 gifted subs, my boy. Alligator, appreciate the 5 gifted subs. Yes, sir. W, Alligator. Nice, awesome.
Put off the bed. She was the last one in the kitchen. She was just either waiting around for a ride or waiting until the morning.
Okay. Was she there with anyone else?
I don't believe anybody was. My girlfriend has cameras here on the back deck.
Bro, Ja Flocka. We get it. You want a sub, bro. We get it. You want a sub bad. Just ask for a sub. You don't gotta try to act like you don't want the sub, bro. We know that you want a sub, my nigga. Just ask for a sub.
That we can check.
Okay.
That I think would have caught the incident if she fell from here. Again,
I didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't say everyone asked for a sub, bro. Okay. There's a lot of niggas that need a sub. If you really want a sub, I can give you tips on getting a sub. You know, we just had a 500 drop off, so 500 more niggas probably looking for their sub right now. If you need tips, let me give you one. Let me give you the tips right here. So one, this is what you do. Cause let me just get this out of the way, bro. Cause these niggas just be asking. Number 1, enter Twitch chat. No. How to get free gifted sub. Number 1, enter the Twitch chat. You know, you can't get gifted if you're not seen, you know? So this is your first step. You already completed that step. We in the chat. Number 2, leave the Twitch chat. You know, it's gonna be crazy, but this is just a setup for number 3. Go to browser of preferred choice and type Indeed.com. And you know, you're gonna go there, it's gonna look new, foreign. You know, you probably haven't been there before, right? Go ahead and make an account. Go ahead and enter all your information and put yourself out there. This is the steps on to get the free gifted sub. This actually works every single time. Take y'all notes. Odessa's get off my dick.
The incident, if she fell from here, again, I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches.
Turn with the 2 months. Turn appreciate 2 months, my boy.
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes unless they in jail. She won't.
Ain't great tips.
From the back, or she was.
Drea with 5 gifted subs.
25, 8, 6,
Drea, appreciate the 5 gifted subs.
Ask my good
Yes,
Lord
yes,
for another
yes.
day. Thank God.
Appreciate you. That's 5.
Already downstairs.
5. Y'all welcome. Tell Alligator and her thank you.
She was the only smoker here, and I'm sorry. That's a lot of nothing.
You got a medulla the size of your mutant pinky.
Barrera mentioned on the call that the house had security cameras and were pointed at the backyard, but they were later found to have dead batteries. The
yeah. It's just the cameras. Just you don't use your cameras, huh? And all of a sudden they dead on the day she died.
This reported multiple blunt force injuries in Tamla's autopsy, noting a high blood alcohol level in her system. Investigators
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes.
Man, with the good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches or hoes unless they in jail. She won't.
I never realized how loud the sub alert was. I gotta turn that shit down. I do. It's at 40%. I'm putting it up to 26%. Yeah, 26%. Go right here. 26%. Turn that motherfucker the fuck down. John Flocka, I just gave you tips. Shut that shit up, nigga. Okay? You understand me? Calm your little ass down.
Fallen off the balcony to her death. The other partygoers reported going to bed before Tamla. Tamla's friends and family were suspicious of the story. Whatever had happened to her, it seemed she had been alone. The family asked for an independent autopsy from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. This autopsy found that Tamla had suffered more severe injuries than might be expected from an accidental fall. In addition to blunt force trauma to her head, neck, and torso, she also had cuts on her face, hands, and legs, and a laceration to her heart's right ventricle. Her right wrist was dislocated, her neck was broken, and there were 4 types of hemorrhages in her skull and brain. A blood alcohol level of 0.238 was found in the GBI's toxicology report. In addition,
man, appreciate to get this out to do tonight.
To traces of an anxiety drug and THC.
What if they killed her and threw her off the balcony to make it look like she jumped?
2 months after Tamla's death, Barrera, the man who reported it to 911, was fired from his job as a Forsyth County court officer. For unknown reasons, he had tried multiple times to illegally access the official incident report. Despite the unusual circumstances, Tamla's death was ruled...
How is this nigga not got suspicion? How is this nigga not got suspicion?
An accident, and the case was closed on February 20th, 2019.
Bro, they do not care about black people.
The Horsford family hired attorney Ralph Fernandez to continue looking into Tamla's death. On June 5th, 2020, Fernandez informed
Will with the 9 months. Will appreciate the 9 months, my boy.
His team's findings suggested the incident had not been an accident,
WSG, Mr.
but a homicide. Tamla's injuries indicated she
dog.
could have been involved in a struggle, and the investigation had left much to be desired. The scene
if they
had
killed
been
her, then
poorly
threw her off?
preserved. Autopsy photos were never released to Fernandez and were possibly not taken at all, and witness statements that conflicted with one another had not been followed up on. A week later,
Bro, they
Forsyth
don't-
County Sheriff Ron...
Bro, they do not care about black people when it comes to investigations, bro. Even from my standpoint, this shit don't make no sense, what they saying. This shit makes zero
How
sense.
you all like this strange
How did this
man
shit
on you
rock?
all?
How did this rock? I'm not even an investigator and this shit don't sound right.
the GBI to reopen the case. The agency agreed but did not provide a timeline for their investigation. Over 2 years later, it is still unclear whether Tamla Horsford died as a result of a terrible accident or something more sinister.
Okay, bro. Strange disappearance of Trevor
On
Dealey.
Thursday, December 7th, 2000, 22-year-old Trevor Dealey vanished after attending his office Christmas party in Dublin, Ireland. Trevor had worked for Bank of Ireland Asset Management for about a year and had recently returned from a vacation in Alaska at the time of his disappearance. The party took place at various locations throughout the night, beginning at a bar called Copperface Jack's, moving to the Hilton Hotel and landing at nightclub Buck Whaley's.
Damn.
Trevor walked out of Buck Whaley's alone at around 3:25 in the morning, but instead of returning to his apartment, he went to his office,
It's in the
where
2000s.
security let him in.
Not really recent.
CCTV video from the building that night shows a man dressed in black waiting outside before Trevor arrived. As Trevor approaches the gate, the two briefly speak.
Whoa. Nah, this is set up.
While inside the
setup.
office, Trevor checked his email, gathered some things he needed for the next day's shift, and spoke to Carl Pender, a colleague who was working the night shift. Trevor left the building at 4:03 carrying an umbrella. The man in black was no longer outside. Trevor called a friend as he walked toward his home and left a voicemail the friend described as normal. This was the last time anyone heard from him. Trevor was not reported missing until the following Monday. His absence at work was written off because of the party the night before, and his roommates were out of town over the weekend. Once it was clear Trevor was unaccounted for, his family and friends circulated thousands of leaflets, hung posters throughout Dublin, and went door to door asking for information. Investigators discovered that at 4:14 on the morning he went missing, Trevor appeared on CCTV on the corner of Bagot Street Bridge and Haddington Road, still walking in the direction of his apartment. This is the last known footage of Trevor Dealey. The footage also shows
walking
a man
alone
in
at
black
night?
passing through the area only 30 seconds behind him. Investigators believe this is the same man who spoke to him outside of the bank.
No.
This individual has never come forward, and Trevor has never been seen again.
He was being
Was
followed.
the man in black a stranger? Was he waiting outside the bank for Trevor specifically? Was he the same person seen following behind in the final footage? Or could Trevor have simply fallen into the Grand Canal or the River Dodder
No,
as he
bruh.
made his way home through the rain and
No.
wind?
Fuck. He's so just fall into the Grand Canal.
A new investigation into Trevor's disappearance was launched in December 2016, with
What's
a
up, Trevor?
€100,000 reward offered for information. In August 2017, a police informant told investigators Trevor had been murdered by a known criminal involved in drugs and prostitution in the area. That theory, however, has never been proven, and no arrests have ever been made. On September 22, 2019, the naked body of 15-year-old Chan Yin Lam was found floating in the sea off Yao Tong, Hong Kong.
Fuck?
A preliminary autopsy found no lacerations, contusions, or sign of any other assault. Investigators suspected Chan's
Quest
death
with the
was
get
a
yourselves, Quest,
and
get
her body
yourselves, my boy. The Quest was at 1400. The Quest was at
was
1400.
quickly cremated, but the
Did he do
incident would soon become the center of a conspiracy
Wait, whoa,
theory-fueled
hold
mystery.
on, was quickly what?
Body was quickly cremated. Was a suicide, and her body was quickly
What
cremated.
do you mean her body
but
was
the
just quickly?
suspected Chan's death was a suicide, and her body was quickly cremated. But the incident would soon become.
How do you just like, damn, okay, you did one quick autopsy and just determined suicide off that one thing and said, all right, cremate.
Body was quickly cremated. Or sign of any other assault. On September 22, 2019, the naked body of 15-year-old Chan Yin Lam was found floating in the sea off Yao Tong.
That's what I'm
Hong
saying.
Kong.
Why would she just be naked?
A preliminary
on the suicide?
autopsy found no lacerations, contusions, or sign of any other assault. Investigators suspected Chan's death was a suicide, and her body was quickly cremated. But the incident would soon become the center of a conspiracy theory-fueled mystery. On the afternoon of September 19th, Chan separated from a group of friends at Meifu Station in the Lai Chi Kok area
How
of
the
Hong
fuck
Kong.
would a
She
15-year-old
sent a
get all
final
the way
message
over
on her
there?
phone telling some friends she intended to return home, then seemed to vanish into thin air. Chan's family reported her disappearance to police 2 days later. Her phone and some stationery were found.
Bro, I'm not claustrophobic. Is that how you say it? Claustrophobic? But like New York and Hong Kong, like I could never live there, bro. Like, it just feels so, you know what I'm saying? Like New York and Hong Kong just feel so packed, bro. Like that nigga Paul showed me a New York street, bro. It just looks so packed, and it's like I can't, like I would not be able to do that, bro. It just feels crowded.
I can't fuck with
Quest
these niggas
another
or
get
bitches
your
or hoes unless they in
song,
Jersey, whoa.
my boy.
I can't fuck with these niggas or bitches
I think
or
today-
hoes unless they in Jersey, whoa.
I think today and yesterday was the day them niggas gave. I think today and yesterday was the day Kanye and Killer gave like 500 subs. So yeah, them motherfuckers dropped right the fuck off.
To police 2 days later. Her phone
What do you mean, huh? Y'all went crazy that day, last month.
and some stationery were found on the ground in Tu Keng Leng railway station. Surveillance footage was soon located that had captured her movements. Chan had left the campus of the youth college at the vocational training school where she was taking classes and walked barefoot in the direction of the
Youth
nearby
college
waterfront.
at 15?
After Chan's body was recovered, social media theories emerged alleging that she had been murdered by government officials for supporting and participating in the 2019 Hong Kong protests.
Ooh.
The protests were demonstrations against
What? Wait, these aren't just Twitch emotes? This is where this comes from? I did not know these, like, they use these as like normal things. Come on, Kira. Kira, do not do this. Act like you knew that. Stop it. Stop. Do not act like you just knew they use this regularly. Come on now. I did not think they just use these everywhere. I knew it was a meme. But to like them, this is not a meme. They have these on serious protesting. Josh is a funny guy, bro. I don't think y'all know, but he's a funny guy, especially off what I seen today. What are you about to do? I'm not about to do. What you getting defensive for, bro? I was just about to say you a funny guy. What happened? Nah, I'm just saying you funny, dog. I wasn't even gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna say shit. I just said you a funny guy. You's a real funny guy. He real funny. You know, sometimes he's unexpected. You can't really expect what he might do at any moment. You know, if you're around him. He's a real funny guy. Real. That booty hole loose, deuce out. Deuce out. That booty hole loose, deuce out. Y'all are suspicious? Hey man, I'm not suspicious, you know. I'm not really a funny guy. I don't know if y'all really know a funny guy, but I think he's a funny guy. I'm not really a funny guy, but Josh, that man is a funny guy.
Internet sleuths began theorizing that police officers had assaulted Chan and thrown her body into the sea. Chan's mother stated she believed her daughter committed suicide and may have even been suffering from psychosis. Chan had reportedly told her mother that she heard voices.
That nigga Josh said deuce out, but he did this. He didn't even do this. This nigga said deuce out and threw up the okay sign. Deuce out, bro. Come on, dog. What are you doing?
Struggling in her relationship with her boyfriend, who was in jail. In early August, Chan was captured on video in a train station, appearing extremely distraught, allegedly because of an issue relating to her boyfriend. Surrounded by concerned strangers and eventually police officers, she's crying and yelling as she sits on the floor of the station.
What? That's her?
Reportedly as a result of her protest participation, Chan had been sent to a juvenile detention center on August 12, 2019, and had stayed there until September 11th. While there, she was charged with property damage after tearing apart some papers. She was due to appear in court for the charge on September 20th and was expected to face a separate charge of assaulting a police officer on September 26th. She had allegedly kicked an officer at Tong Fuk Correctional Institution, where her boyfriend was imprisoned. Despite these details of Chan's struggles in the weeks leading up to her death, doubters were very vocal on social media. Students at Chan's school demanded the release of CCTV footage from the day she was last seen alive. The school eventually made public 16 video clips that show Chan moving around the campus for over an hour on September 19th. In the first few clips, Chan is still wearing her shoes. She appears to remove them after climbing a stairwell and coming back down the stairs barefoot. She's also seen reading from some papers inside an elevator. Chan appears distracted and possibly distraught, and she moves around the school without a clear destination. The teenager fidgets and walks aimlessly. On 3 separate occasions, she pushes the call button for an elevator and wanders off before it arrives. In the final clip, Chan is seen walking outside on the street, presumably to the seaside. Some have suggested that the girl in the CCTV footage is not Chan, but an imposter or actress participating in a cover-up of her murder. Armchair detectives have noticed a difference in appearance between the young woman in the videos and photos of Chan seen on her social media accounts and missing poster. Many point out a difference in her eyebrows specifically. They also find it suspicious that Chan's clothes managed to go missing between the time she was last seen and when her body was clothes was specific.
What do y'all think? They're pointing this out Like, what if she just got ready this day? They do look different. What if she just got ready this day and this is just her? Like, she's in juvenile detention. Look at her nose. Different nose. I mean, her nose right here is crooked on the right side, which is a front-facing camera, and this one is crooked on her right side too, right? Eyebrows. Could it be fake? I'm just speculating here. Nigga, she 15. She ain't gonna have no makeup in Hong Kong. I mean, I didn't know they couldn't have makeup in Hong Kong. How do you know that? Her eyes are completely. But you gotta think, bro. Like this. What are you saying?
They also find it suspicious that Chan's clothes managed to go missing.
That's one thing
the
that
time
don't
she
make
was
sense.
Last seen and when her body was found in
why
the
if
sea.
she did commit suicide? Why would she
Chan was an
naked?
accomplished swimmer. She'd even won swimming awards in the past, which actively identified her in the released clips, and those closest to her seemed to accept that she simply took her own life. Sadly, it looks like
it's just the calling the elevator 3 times that makes me. But how does her body get into the water naked though?
we will never know for sure what really happened to Chan Yin Lam. Which of these unsolved cases did you find the most mysterious? Do you have theories of your own about what really happened to any of these people? Let us know in the comments.